All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. We have a lot of news in this one. There's going to be like 4 or 5 different topics. This video might even be like 15 minutes long, but it is insane. And like I said, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about in today's video. So if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, like in today's video, we're talking about explanations of roster changes. Ask me anything's coming from these organizations, who these organizations are most scared of when it comes to 3v3 fighting. And then also you've got some I guess it was a little bit of impression farming. We thought a roster change was going to happen. We thought some crazy news was coming out. Looks like it was all just a bait. Some of it was not true at all. And then also ALGS making a very controversial change into year 4 that we need to discuss. So like the video, subscribe. Let's go ahead and dive right into this. First thing I wanted to mention, just a little little side note, youngest mouse and keyboard Pred might get into some competition. Now this guy's obviously 13 years old, so I don't think you can actually play the ALGS until you're like 16. However, some of these other tournaments as well, I know you could play. I know like Lil Fredson is like 10 years old, and I know he was playing in a tournament like at a LAN event, and he had won some stuff, and he was also playing like a little community tournament that I signed up for the other day. So I'm pretty sure that you can actually still compete to some degree despite your age. You just can't play in the ALGS, I'm pretty sure. So it'll be interesting to see some of these young guns come up, and I wonder where ALGS will be in about 3 years when he can finally start competing. Now I also wanted to mention, coming from Leave No Witness, thank you to their chief operating officer John, who tagged me in this over on Twitter. This is actually like 3 or 4 different posts. I think Minus Tempo from TSM even got involved in this. So this is where people were getting a little bit upset. Pyrus, which I assume is how you pronounce this, honestly I have no idea, said, play Apex, what's going on here in South America? What the heck is going on? ALGS Year 4 Split 1 Pro League. Teams in North America, look at this. Teams in North America, EMEA, EMEA, APAC North, APAC South will be invited to Year 4 Pro League Split 1 in their region in the following. Notice they did not say South America. So right now we have the EMEA scene, the NA scene, APAC North, APAC South, South America. What looks like coming from Year 4, their new updated rule set here, they are not including South America to any degree. Now you can say, oh, well, South America is always underperforming. They normally get bodied in the tournaments as well. But the problem is that doesn't necessarily mean, we even saw in the Kick interview. I think last year we had the Kick interview, and they had basically said, one of the problems that they have is they're not able to play against some of the best competition. They want to get better. They want to, participate in everything possible. But with as far as they are, the competition that's around there, a lot of them, the only result is for them to move. But I think the only way that they have right now is to at least give it a shot. I mean, Team Singularity, honestly, I feel like made a great name for themselves. At least give it a shot by qualifying in your South American region, and then, at least giving them a shot at the LAN events with all the other teams, right? Like, that's still somewhat ethical to let them compete. And the fact that we don't see them in line number 1 at 3.9, and then also at the second half of 3.9, you can see 8 teams per region in North America, EMEA, APAC North, APAC South will qualify. Still no South American here. What is going on? Are they getting rid of South America region for competitions here in the ALGS? Surely not. I mean, that would be such a bad call, but I hope that this is just a typo. John had also put on their Twitter, though, I really hope that this is a typo, because South America is not on this list. The Apex Legends Global Series, just without more than half of the continent of America, how this would not be communicated beforehand, God only knows. But that seems like the most Apex thing to do. Regardless, we don't know exactly any explanations as of yet. Another player from Kick, Stow, also had said, so we all need to know this ASAP due to orgs, planning, life-changing issues. Is South America really going to be excluded from ALGS Year 4 Pro League? Can anyone double check it? There are a lot of people chasing it for years, and that would be life-changing in a bad way for everyone. Apex Esports. And of course, Minus Tempo also had to say something about it. Looks like Apex has updated their rule book. This means that we have some 100% confirmed teams for North America. Obviously, the already qualified Year 4 teams for Pro League via LAN are Exet, Dark Zero, Optic, Furia, FaZe, TSM, NRG, Oxygen, 100 Thieves, Complexity, Luminosity, and Sentinels. And then qualified via Pro League for placement is Wildcard and Meat Lovers. And then ALGS picks, you have 2 here at the bottom. You've got qualified via LCQ. So you'll have some other teams obviously get involved in this as well. But you should also have a lot of teams already qualified via the EMEA scene. So we'll see how all of this stuff breaks down. Like I said, this new rule book update that they made is a little weird that they did not include South America, and very weirded out by this. Now, Tech also said merging with North America sounds interesting. Seems like the best option in my opinion. Too weak of a region to be granted free land spots. So this is the conversation that we're having now. Tech believes that they're not really getting rid of South America. They're just forcing South America to play with North America because South America is deemed so easy, so free, that they're just getting free land spots, and that's not fair. They need to go through the trials. They need to go through the tribulations. They need to have just as hard of a time as anybody else. But you could also argue that playing on this ping against North America, so you're now taking the worst region, statistically speaking, no, like, not trying to offend anybody, but just saying, you're taking the arguably worst region, maybe not arguably, and putting them up against arguably the best region. They might not be North America might not be the best, but I would perceive, they constantly winning. Maybe they are the best. South America now has to go up against North America and on a lower ping. Surely this is not fair, but Tech did say sounds like the best option in my opinion. And I do see where he's coming from, but still should have an opportunity to qual regardless. Now, Minus Tempo said the bigger question becomes, how do you merge South America and North America and the invites as well? Their whole party priority section gets thrown out the window because just from that first category, you'd have more than 22 teams. So that's true as well. Yeah. How do you merge that? If you take all these teams from each region, why does South America's region not get their own, I guess, treatment to some degree? They're not gonna, that would mean that North American Pro League is gonna have to extend and invite more teams, and I don't even know if that's possible. So yeah, that's a little weird. We'll see how that all goes down in the next couple of weeks, but I still don't really see any response from any big names coming from this kick post where they basically asked if can anyone double check this, can anyone, can anybody else see? I've not seen anybody like come out from Apex Esports and clarify this, unfortunately. So if you guys have seen that, of course, tag me in it. Thank you to Carl Kodak for tagging me in that over on Twitter, though. Regardless, this has been a hot topic of South American region potentially not getting their own region next year, possibly having to merge in with North America. And I just feel like that has got its pros and cons for sure. I would personally like it for the South American region just because I know they will inherently get better at the game by playing against better competition always. And I think that's what a lot of them wanted to some degree. A lot of them had said basically when they show up to land, they're so far behind because their competition is just so much lower over there. And so I would like to see this to some degree, but I just don't know how that's going to work with the Pro League spots, how that's going to work with the ping issues. So definitely something we're going to be following. Make sure you're, subscribe with the noties on so that you can stay up to date. Also wanted to mention why Zach has explained now why Naughty left Tech's team. So Zach gets involved because obviously Naughty left Tech's team over on the Meat Lovers, joins E8 with Zach, and a lot of people were wondering what's going on. Did Zach poach him? Because we know Tech is the ultimate victim of getting poached. Now, this was coming from the Apex Lounges channel on Fallout's Apex After Hours podcast, little show that they do, and a lot of good content coming out of this. But Zach wanted to clarify why he says Naughty left Tech's team, because Naughty did say that he did not get poached and that he actually willingly left because he felt like that squad was a better fit for him. Roll the clip.
Best effort to qualify for this. This is a great opportunity. After that, I can focus on Pro League and the future, right? I think there's two very different ways of looking at it. I think Naughty's looking at it in those eyes of how do I get to champs and not maybe where am I going to spend the next 3 years of my life. That's exactly what I'm doing. And I think Naughty, I'm not sure whether Naughty got sick of Tech and Lux for any given reason, or if he was like, I think I have a better chance at champs with Zach and Chaotic. I'm not sure which one it is. We've been doing pretty well in the scrims. His team's been doing pretty well in the scrims. So I'd like to imagine that it was something behind the scenes, but truthfully speaking, the only people who know is Naughty. So I don't know.
So, of course, the conversations get a little bit crazy as to why exactly it all happened, but interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. Also wanted to mention that Oxygen decided to go on a Ask Me Anything on their Reddit. Full staff, full roster, and everything regarding the players, regarding the coaching staff, regarding what their preparations are. And they've actually said that they're at boot camp right now for these playoffs. Now, don't forget, the actual tournament is literally next week. Finally, we're getting towards some action. We've been on like, what is it, 2 months, a month and a half break on the channel here of no action, no Pro League matches going on, no excitement, nothing to look forward to. It's been such a long break. I hate the way that they have done this, but finally we are getting back to the LAN event next week. So there was actually one of the questions here regarding the teams playing against each other. They asked Oxygen who they feel like the scariest team to play against right now currently is. Oxygen apparently says that they are most fearing of Optic Gaming in a 3v3. Thought that was interesting because I definitely would have you know, considered some others. Now Vayne obviously stepped in and said DZ, NRG, XSET, TSM for sure. I would personally say XSET's got to be one of the scariest teams to fight because those guys are just got so much raw talent at fighting people. It's just crazy. Now they always seem to like get, a lot of times I've seen them get over aggressive. They'll end up getting like third party or whatever, and even though they like get the most points, even though they like kind of are the best team, they always seem to lose a lot because of you know, their overextensions or their hyper aggressiveness sometimes because they're so good at the game. But if you're just talking fair 3v3, no third parties, I honestly got XSET over the entire pro league of any region at all. And I'm not even an XSET fan, if I'm being honest with you. Also wanted to mention, this was some crazy news as well. So we saw this post get posted yesterday. Thank you to John Boy for tagging me. Tech posted that he is excited to announce Tubi will be their official third for the LCQ and all future tournaments moving forward. Let's get to work. And a lot of people took this bait, bro. People were getting all involved in this. And Imperial High was saying, man, turned down Dark Zero just to join Tech later instead. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know Shubi got offered to Dark Zero, which I thought was crazy. But then Tech continued the impression for him by saying, I forgot to mention, we'll also be landing at Lava Siphon as well. And a lot of people in the comments are freaking out like, what? No way this is going on. Then you got Madness saying, I just can't catch a break. I thought this was real. I really thought, I was like, no way this actually happened. What a weird roster move. And then Shubi had retweeted and said, bro, all crying emojis. And then finally Madness cleared it up by saying, before more people try to impression farm, the players on the roster are not changing. The boys and I are still fully committed to playing out ALGS LCQ. And we'll see how this obviously all goes down together. Interested to see how that one goes because I know a lot of people were obviously freaking out or a little bit confused as to what was going on. Also wanted to mention, just as we wrap the video up, we've got some Challenger Circuit Rostermania as well. This one's actually a little bit more important than like, I guess, most Challenger teams. Tempest, you guys probably know, former teammate of mine back in the day, way back season 2, we used to play like on a like, you know, like ABC roster kind of thing. So he was actually playing with It's Timmy for quite some time. They were looking for a third. Tempest got basically moves on, kind of gets dropped or whatever to some degree, starts a new team. Tempest, they were looking, I think a lot of people were saying Tempest was like one of the best players on that roster. Then he gets dropped as well, which is also weird. So he said he was looking for a team last minute for LCQ and Pro League. Sucks that this happened 2 weeks before LCQ, but it is what it is. If anyone's interested, let me know. And then obviously Z Davis retweets it and says, everybody's saying that he's the best player on the team, etc., etc. But if Relay's explanation is valid, then GG's. And I have looked all over Twitter to see what exactly his explanation was. I could not find it. So if anybody has any information, of course, you're always welcome to drop it in my DMs. You can also remain anonymous if you would like to. But regardless, that is the news on the Block Challenger Circuit. Also want to mention Apathy has returned back to Apex Legends to play, looking for a team. Finals experience year 2, semifinals experience year 1, mouse and keyboard, IGL, macro and micro, can play both edge and zone, flexible with any legend, looking for similar experience. We'll see how he finds himself on a roster as well. Interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below about all the topics in today's video. Make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related. And until the next time, I will see you all later, Gators.